many great stories, and you kind of, let me into your family, and you guys are all friends, and Father Bob and Corky over there, and all of them, and Dorothy, and Nancy, just, they're all, it's just great. And, my cousins are over there, and, my little bald-headed nephew, the three-time Bowman Fantasy Football Champion. I don't know where the trophy is.
Spellman fan.
I don't know where the trophy is, but and then we'll get on to everyone here. And I'm sorry if I missed anyone, Diana or Catherine or Patrick or the people that come all the way in from out of state. They flew in just for the party. We're not going to mention that there was a wedding on New Year's Eve. They come in just for us. Joe and Karen, and of course Joseph and Hillary, the newlyweds. Thank you so much for coming. And Drain and I were so excited to see you guys here. And I don't know who I missed, and I apologize for whoever I missed. Chooch and just everyone. Did anyone I missed? You want to? Oh yeah, my beautiful sister Linda, who was so nice to me when I was younger, and continues to be nice to me. Although she couldn't speak to me for the last 3 weeks, so she was afraid she was going to spill the beans about the party. So, in the what, Mary? My sister that I beat up on a constant basis. Thank you for toughing me up. Yeah, we had a lot of fun on Orange Street, up in New Hampshire, and Tricia, and Buddy, and Katya, and it's just so cool to see. It's so cool, and the big nine, obviously are, the medium nine are Kara and Dr. Spellman and Matt. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking those children out of our house. We thought they were never going to leave. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course the little three, Jane and Luke and Jason. And Jane, I remember the first time Grandma and I came down to hold you in Philadelphia. And you were a little newborn. And Grandma and I held you on our laps, and we just stared at you, and we passed you back and forth. And we didn't know you 5 minutes ago, but all of a sudden we were in love with you. And our hearts grew bigger that day. And that continued with Luke and with Jason, and you started all that. And we love you so much. And you make us happy, and you make us want to cry at the same time. What? I love you too. Thank you. This is such a wonderful evening, and how lucky are Drain and I to have Paul and Peter and Jill, and for them to share all these nice stories with you earlier. I'd like to share some stories, as a matter of fact. So anyway, Paul was our firstborn child, and you expect everything, from a firstborn child. What's going to happen? You don't know what's going to happen. We're first-time parents, and and he'd have little friends over, and he was about 3 years old, and he'd have his little friend Kristen over, and Kristen would be in this beautiful white dress, and she would come up to Jerain, and she would say, "Hi, Jerain. I love those chocolate chip cookies you made. Can you give the recipe to my mother?" Now, Paul and Kristen were born a day apart. And Paul would come by and go, "Hey, bang, hey, bang, hey, hee-haw, hee-haw." And he'd have chocolate all over his face and everything. And Kristen would be in this white dress. And Jerain would go, "Don't worry, maybe he'll be a late bloomer." And so a year goes by, they go on to nursery school. And the first day of nursery school comes, and like Paul said, I work nights, so Jerain and I are there, and we're all excited. The children are coming out, and they're so excited as well. They have these beautiful paintings that they all drew. And we see the children come out, and some of them drew a picture of a house or a rainbow. And they just would say, "Oh, look at this," or their pet, and it would be really, really nice. And we couldn't wait for Paul to come out to see what he drew. And here comes Paul. And we look and we go, "Paul, what did you draw on your first day of school?" And we look at the picture, and it's like just scribbles, and it's just lines and a mess. And we're going, "Well, what is that, Paul?" And he goes, "That's Mr. Scribbly Scrabbly." So we see the teacher, and we're going, "What the heck is that?" And we see the teacher, and he goes, Well, the teacher said, well, I gave him another chance. I explained the assignment to him again and everything. So I flipped over the paper, and we showed him the other children's pictures, and we said, here, take a look at this. And we look and we say, oh, now we're going to see the rainbow. You know, we're all excited. We flip the paper over, and it's all just giant mess and scribbles, and it's just nothing. It's, we're going, Paul, what is that? He goes, that's Whitley Bradley's brother. So Dre and I are looking at each other like, we gotta send him to special school. We gotta get the yellow bus. He needs help. But Dre again said, don't worry, you know, he'll be smart someday or whatever. And he did okay, you know, kind of, you know, won a few awards along the way. #2 at Boston College, we graduated from Wharton, so he did end up being smart in the long run, as Dre said. I think the smartest thing he did do was ask Kara to marry him. And it's just great. They went out and I remember that after going out on their first date, Paul come home the next day. I was and I said, Paul said, Dad, I met someone. I think I really like her. And I go, well, you know, what do you like about her? And this is, you know, after your first date, Kara. I don't even know if you know the story. And I said, what do you like about her? And he goes, everything. And I thought that was so cool. And I said, I think they're going to end up together, and they did, and they brought us Jane and Luke along the way, so thank you so much. Cal, thank you. I know you did a lot for the party. Thank you so much. And let's see, who's next in line? My comedian son over there. Yeah. So, he was a comedian right from the very beginning. One of our fondest early memories of Peter was that, you know, Doreen was a wonderful mom and loving, and just like she said, she'd cook dinner every night, and we couldn't wait for the 5 of us to sit down and tell stories. And every night we'd sit down, and as soon as we sat down, that's when Peter decided he had to go to the bathroom, right? So Peter runs out, and he jumps out of the chair. So Doreen used to get so mad, and she'd go, Peter, you know, why can't you go before? And so, and of course, the bathroom was located right next to the kitchen table, so you could sort of hear what was going on in the other room. So one night, Peter sits down and he runs out and he goes, Peter, why do you have to do this? So we go and we're sitting and we're going to wait for him, and we hear, psh, 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 and the psh, and it goes on and on and on. So now, Dre and I are looking at it like, so we got to go to the ER? Well, Peter, as the joke, filled up a half-gallon jug in the bathroom and then proceeded to pour it into the bathroom to make us think he was going to the bathroom for about 5 minutes. Because Peter would be always the one, you know, we used to get calls or letters from the various schools, and we'd get a letter and it would say, to the parents of Paul Spellman, or to the parents of Jill Spellman. And we're going, oh my goodness, and, you know, did they win another award? This is wonderful, let's open the mail up. And then we'd get those ones, to the parents of Peter Spellman. And we'd go, I'm not opening it. You open it. And we'd have to make a little visit to the principal's office. Because Peter, during shop time or chemistry time, would put on a lab coat, and he'd draw, you know, women's breast on the lab coat. And we had to explain to him that that was not acceptable behavior in high school. But Paul always joked that Peter, no matter what he does, he lands on his feet, okay? Happens all the time. Just don't worry about Peter. He's all set, right? So Peter, he doesn't want to go to college. He decides to take over the family business and go into Verizon. So he goes and gets a job, all right? So, of course, he doesn't go to college, but who does he marry? He marries a doctor, right? So, he marries a doctor. That's not moving. So, Paul, he did it again. So, and then finally they go, Peter, well, we're closing the office at work. We're going to have to move you to Rhode Island. Well, here's a 4-hour commute. It's 2 hours there, 2 hours back. He's going, I just got a new baby. I don't want to go to Rhode Island. I'm thinking about quitting. Well, a couple days later, Verizon changes their mind. Hey, Peter, how about if you work from home? Okay. So now, Peter's working from home. Unbelievable. He's sitting sitting there in his pretend little office doing pretend little job, and he's working from home, and he's married to a doctor. And I don't know, and somewhere along the way, Jason came in, and it's so cool. And to watch Paul as a dad, and to watch Peter as a dad, man, that's the greatest feeling in the world. It's so cool. It's so cool, and you know, Drain and I are just so lucky to have those two children. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one. Well, my wife Drain has so many wonderful, wonderful qualities. Kind, just caring, selfless, as many people have said here tonight, and it's so true. But she also has some, you know, things that, you know, maybe she gets a little nervous about things. Maybe she gets a little high-strung about things. Well, she passed many of those qualities on to our daughter, Jo. Right, Matt? No comment. So, but this goes way back. All right, so this is